Welcome to Point Blank. This is your host, Panama Crypto. Today we have John Wick, aka Zero Hedge, as our co-host, bringing his legacy markets expertise to Point Blank. Without further ado, I'll leave you to it.
Hey guys, we have Todd Butterfield here with us today. He's the owner of the Wyckoff Stock Market Institute that was originally founded by Richard D. Wyckoff in 1931. Todd, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me. Glad to be here.
Great. So Todd, let's start off by just asking you how you got into trading. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about your story.
Definitely. I mean, back when I was 16, 17, 18, hate to say it, but I used to play pool for quite a bit of money. Used to have connections at the horse track. I played a lot of poker. And then that kind of evolved into stocks. My father traded some lower price stocks at a local Shearson Lehman Brothers. So I would drive there and hang out around a lot of older men that were trading stocks, options. I started trading options, etc. And then just trying to further my education, reading what I could. And then I came across an ad, I believe in the Wall Street Journal or Barron's. I think it was like, how to make money in stocks. And it was from Wyckoff Stock Market Institute. So I checked into that. They had a home study course. I believe back then it was $1,800, which was quite a bit of money because I was preparing for college, but I really wanted to learn more about stocks. So I set up a payment plan with Wyckoff and did their course. I believe it took me probably 9 months, 12 months. And then when I graduated, I was wanted to prove I knew what I was doing. Back in the day, Norm Zeta was a professor. His father was extremely well known. He did a U.S. investment championship where you had to trade real money, you had to pay an entry fee, etc. So a lot of big names back then, Frankie Joe, Pitbull, Bob Proctor from Elliott Wave, they was in them. But I entered into one $10,000 account plus, and I believe I paid about $375 entry fee. I was in a 90-day trading competition. I was trading stock index futures because they had just started trading, and that was kind of exciting. And I made, I believe it was 33%. I was 12th in the nation from there. And I just continued to trade for myself. And then I did get a phone call from Chicago from a wealthy individual. Wanted to know if I wanted to move to Chicago, manage some assets for him. He owned a market maker firm at the Chicago Board Options Exchange. He wanted to know how much I wanted paid and how much I could manage. So I went to work for him. I mostly was an upstairs trader. I gave kind of advice to everybody around me, all the other market makers. I would go down to the pit once in a while, but I'm only 5'8". So I traded from the edge of the pit at the OEX pit some. But again, mostly an upstairs trader. And then I did move back home and I worked at Smith Barney for a few years. And then in 96 went out on my own. So I'm a registered investment advisor. I manage stock assets. I do a mutual fund strategy. And then about 4 years ago, I started kind of moving to crypto. And a lot of that was because a lot more people in crypto was wanting to learn. They wanted to learn Wyckoff. They needed help, I think, trading. And the volatility is just so huge that I've really moved a lot of my business into the crypto markets.
Okay, wow. That's quite a history, Todd. That's a pretty interesting story. Thank you for sharing that with us.
And I will tell you, if I don't know if you can add a link later, I did a YouTube video showing the trades I did because I have my chart back when I did the contest, and it did show my buys and sells, and I kind of tried to give my thinking, and it was kind of interesting. I did get in probably 7 or 8 real money competitions. I got in a stock one, a mutual fund, timing one. Anything I got in, I have listed at wyckoffsmi.com because the regulators didn't want me to cherry pick my good performances, so I've listed all of them.
Right.
But all of my entries was, 9th, 12th, 14th, 1st, etc. So I really wanted to prove that Wyckoff worked. So I think I did prove that back in the day. And then, then I ended up taking over Wyckoff and moving forward with also the Institute.
Okay. Wow, Todd, that is quite a history, man. It sounds like you're the real deal, and you've gone through Gone through all the phases. So let me ask you this: talking about the Wyckoff method, can you elaborate on that? From my understanding, and I'll tell everybody right now, I've known about the Wyckoff method for many years. I don't particularly trade it, but I have had mentors and a lot of traders that have spoken really highly of it. So I know that it involves waves. I know that it involves volume. I actually have studied it. I just haven't used it. Can you elaborate a little bit more on how that works and give us?
I mean, they said, Wyckoff was, they've always said, it's kind of the best kept secret. I know, like, we have some old recordings, like some of the Fidelity managers were Wyckofians, and they never did a lot of advertising or marketing, really. Maybe a small ad in the Wall Street Journal, how I found them, etc. But I just tried to take more social media to it, try to spread the word. A lot of people in the crypto world has been interested, so that's kind of brought a lot of my business over to crypto in the last 4 years. But really, Wyckoff is kind of a 5-step method. It's determine the trend of the market. So like on stocks, that was, watch the S&P, really watch the Wyckoff wave, which back in the day was 12 of the leading stocks, and follow those on an intraday basis with volume. So you would figure out where the trend is of the general market, and then you would want to trade in harmony with that trend. And then you would pick stocks that have built a cause, meaning some sideways accumulation range. So they have a cause build up to be released. And then you would time that with the Wyckoff proprietary indicators on when the appropriate time is to enter a short or a long.
Now, I saw those, don't let me interrupt you, Todd, but I saw those indicators. I saw you have one that everyone seems to go crazy about, and that's is it the tachometer?
Yeah, the technometer.
Tell us about that one. I'm interested in that one. Tell us about that one.
Because, and I've shown, I've got a link I could give on YouTube you could add later if you want to, that went through the trades I did when I got 12th in the nation. And yeah, the technometer has been, a lot of people follow Wyckoff because it was price and volume, but from Wyckoff and his understudies and the people that have continued with, the Wyckoff website, it all came to where you had a OP, which is an optimism pessimism index. And that is really volume on a 5-minute basis, which you could really say on balance volume. A lot of people would know that. So it keeps track of volume during the day on a 5-minute basis, and then charts that at the end of the day value. And there's also force reading, which again is based on volume, a little more of a longer term type indicator. And then the technometer is really an overbought, oversold reading, basically on volume. So if you have X number of days where downside volume is coming in strongly, you're going to get an oversold technometer, which is a reading around 36. Overbought is 50. And when you've got an oversold technometer, that means the volume has came in to the downside, probably needs to slow up or correct back higher. And then the real key is when you compare the technometer to price, because if you've had intense selling and it maybe takes out a low from 10 days previous, the price holds above that low, then that would tell you that somebody is selling with a lot of down volume, but price is holding, which means somebody is supporting price. And that somebody would be the composite man, which is what Wyckoff's definition of the major players.
Wow. Yeah, no, that makes complete sense. That makes complete sense. And I remember looking at that quite a few times, and I was pretty surprised at how accurate that was, specifically that tachometer. So thanks for explaining that, Todd. That's great.
Yeah, and the technometer is a big help definitely in trading the markets.
That's great. So let me ask you this. Let's change it up a bit. If you had to stop trading and stop educating, Todd, what do you think you would do next?
I don't know anything else. I guess. I've done nothing but this. I mean, I was, like I said, when I started when I was 18, from 18, on, I traded for myself. I traded for a wealthy individual, and then I did work for a brokerage firm. So, if I had my choice, I'd probably become a professional fisherman, but I'm not that talented in fishing. Fishing was one thing that helped take my mind off the markets to reduce stress, but probably I'd donate my time to a animal rescue, probably.
You a big animal person? I'm a dog person.
I like dogs a lot. Dogs and cats, but I'm a big dog person.
Okay. Well, being John Wick over here, I'm a big dog guy. It's actually one of the reasons why I picked it. I got a nice Doberman here, so I'm with you on that. I'm an animal.
I understand.
Okay, so Todd, let me ask you this: what type of projects do you got going on? I know you mentioned that you have that Discord and a YouTube channel. Tell us more about that.
I mean, the Discord is it's a patreon.com/learn crypto, and that if you join there, it's $40 a month. Then we give you an invite into our Discord. The Discord is where I and also my partner there, Nick, which on Twitter is StunnerD620, STUNAD620. And kind of my main one on Twitter, I do have Wyckoff on stocks and Learn Crypto show, I believe it is, but Wyckoff on crypto would be my main one there, probably for this crowd here.
That's where we get the
and,
right, Todd?
in the Discord, I mean, I mostly give trades on Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and maybe throw in something different here and there. I do give a few stock ideas because I still trade a lot of stocks. And then Nick really is in charge of fundamentals and more small to medium caps. So he's had big success here recently. It seems like when I get hot, he might slow up, and then when I slow up, he might get hot. So our win rate over there is extremely, extremely high. We limit our risk with stop losses, majority of the time. I follow, again, the Wyckoff method. I do throw a little bit of Elliott wave on top of that. If I have a buy signal from my technometer and price action, then I will try to figure out what type of Elliott wave roadmap I could lay on top of that. That might tell me how much the next rally might go up, et cetera. But the Discord, we have, I'm going to say around 500 members over there. We got a good group. So that's pretty exciting. And then again, I own WyckoffSMI.com. I guess I am an educator. When I was there, it was going to be Jim and I. He was going to do more education. I was going to do more providing trades because Wyckoff never really had done that. So now I am the lead educator there. So if you do buy a course or something, I am the one helping you through that. But again, I mean, I'm hands-on. I manage stock money, mutual fund money, and I also manage crypto assets for people through an API.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that you actually managed funds, Todd. That's
Yeah. I mean, I'm a registered investment advisor. So clients will give me a trading API where I can trade, view, manage. I can't transfer or withdraw.
Okay.
And, most cases, I charge 3% of account balance annually. 1/4 of that quarterly is billed to you.
Okay.
So yeah, if I'm doing trades for my private client group, which is what I call it, then that same trade, majority of the time, is going to the Discord as well.
Okay.
It's just, at 3 a.m, I might have a trade. If you're in Discord, you're probably asleep or don't want to be bothered because you might be on the other side of the globe. So a lot of people will hire me just to do the trade for them.
Makes sense. And let me ask you this, Todd, because they'll ask this next. What type of average returns do you think they could expect investing in your fund?
I mean, I'm state regulated in Illinois. I can't state performance because every account's managed individually.
Makes sense.
I will tell you that, like last year when we had the rally from 3150 to 14,000, well known, I had like 13, 14 buy signals on the way up, caught the majority of that rally. And I will say, and I'm sure we'll talk more about this for traders and things. I mean, my last 6 months has probably been my most trying, probably my career together. Haven't really lost money, but just haven't traded as well because obviously the pandemic fed a little bit too involved in these markets for me, buying assets they probably shouldn't be buying, et cetera. So again, I mean, we do on the Discord, if you ask, if you want it, we do at the end of every month, we list all of our trades and green for profit, red for losses. Again,
Okay.
and then we throw a lot of performance figures out there for that, but those are trades we've given to Discord. So again, I can't really state returns, but I can state that off of Discord because those are trades we actually give. Okay. And most of the time, Nick quotes those on Twitter.
And I've seen a lot of your results. It's actually all pretty good.
Those are actual results. I mean, obviously, I've got to report actual being regulated.
This episode is brought to you by PrimeXBT, the exchange that makes possible to trade with leverage on legacy markets from a single Bitcoin-based account.
So that leads us to our next question. Why don't you give us some insight, if you can, Todd, on what you think that let's go over the two markets that everyone's focusing on, the stock market and the crypto market. What's your outlook going forward? I know it's been one of the most trying years. So
Right.
what do you see for us?
I mean, on the way down when everything was getting crushed, we were saying, do not sell, we'll bounce back, stay long, etc. We came back up through about 26,500. I started taking some profits. And that was really okay, except obviously, as everybody would know, in large cap tech, that would have been way too early because that rally continued much, much higher.
Right.
So I'm a little short still the markets. I do have some losses. I think there is more downside. I mean, Wednesday's high after the Fed speak is a high that needs to stay in place if we're headed lower. We did have weakness in late Wednesday, Thursday, and so far today, a little bit of weakness. So I think stocks are probably violently sideways, mostly. And I think we're overpriced. I think, I think we had a lot of bullish sentiment released. I do think probably we still have some of the coronavirus issues moving forward going into the winter. So I'm probably just in trading mode on stocks with definitely a downward bias. I think that also affects, if you look at Bitcoin and NASDAQ recently, Bitcoin's been following the NASDAQ. That's been what I've been saying. I think that really probably continues. I've been calling for a bottom in the dollar. It's been sitting down here trying to make a low. I'm not sure if it has one more new low to scare everybody or if we can firm up from here, but I think dollar is going to rally a little bit. That keeps, I think, pressure on crypto in general. Mm-hmm. So I don't think we're going to explode here. I'm up at 12.4, 12.5. We was really talking about some type of pullback. I've showed by Elliott Wave we could have a pullback to 9,000 still. I've also got a long-term triangle count that we could fall clear back to like 6,500. I think that would matter what the dollar does here, and also, going into winter, what stocks might do if we have any type of virus outbreaks. So I'm definitely leaning sideways to lower stocks, sideways to lower crypto. But we will, I will take trades. My last trade was a small loser in Bitcoin. We didn't dig out of the hole as quick as I wanted to on Bitcoin. So I've missed some of this recent rally. I gave a sell on Ethereum at 424, I believe it was. Bought back at 330 and sold at 375. That's the last trades I've done there. And the Litecoin, we took a couple dollar profit at 49.30, I believe it was. We're sitting here at 48.30. Litecoin has been trading very heavy. Ethereum was as well until maybe this Uniswap had a little bit of boost on Ethereum the last 48 hours or so. But I don't like the action there. But again, we'll follow our technometer readings. If I get an oversold market, I get price and volume how I want. We'll try to catch a bounce, etc. So it's not like we're going to sit here waiting for sideways to down. We will take short-term trades with stop losses. And I will say, with the software I did build for Wyckoff SMI, I did then take that to the crypto market. So as everybody knows, if you're talking about volume in cryptos, that's a whole new can of worms because there's so many exchanges. I do have an API that brings in the majority of all exchanges. So the software that I have is bringing in basically all volume. So that way, if you're looking, even if you're looking at RSI or something, or looking at our technometer, you're getting a real reading on volume because we're bringing it in from all exchanges. So I think that's a big deal. That software is not available to subscribers. I'm trying to get that done. Still expect that to happen. I won't charge a lot for that, but I think that's going to be a game changer. As far as I know, if you have TradingView, I think there's a way to bring in maybe 10 exchanges for volume consolidated. I don't think you can bring in 100 to 150 of them. So that's probably helped us out as well.
Okay. Todd, that was some great analysis on the market, man. Thanks for breaking that down for us.
You're welcome.
And I agree with you. I do see the crypto market and the NASDAQ kind of following each other. So I agree with everything you said, and the dollar as well. I also see it coming to a little bit of a bottom here. Yeah, I'm on par with you, man. I think everything that you said makes sense to me.
We've been really trading risk on, risk off. So I think, when we're risk on, they're chasing NASDAQ. And I think you've got probably hedge fund guys, you got Tudor Jones and some of these guys, they're going to chase Bitcoin as well because there's more bang for the buck. So I think that's happening. I think, lots of other firms are joining the fray into Bitcoin, and I think that continues. So I think, yeah, if stocks head higher, Bitcoin probably percent-wise leads that, and the same thing on the downside.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that. Todd, I caught one thing, and let me ask you. You said that you used to be an options trader. That's actually what I do. Is there any particular reason why you stopped trading options? I'm trying
You
to take
know,
it to the crypto community, and that's kind of my goal that I've had is trying to bring it to the crypto community and try and get these exchanges to
right.
explore them a little bit more.
I mean, what a great, that'd be a great thing for you to do. I mean, options, right now a lot of people are trading stock options, and I don't think they know what they're doing. I have people reaching out to me for help on that. And I mean, I traded a lot of stock options. I was always buying calls, I remember one night I was laying in bed, I had call options on William Brothers. They were supposed to get bought out the next day, and I would have made huge money. Stock closed up like $8 the night before. Buyout didn't happen, and I made some money. And then, as I said, when I went to the Chicago Board Options Exchange, everybody was trading OEX options.
Mm-hmm.
That pit was just utterly huge. And I mostly sold premium. I mean, back then, the professionals were selling premium. They weren't buying premium.
That's what I do. Yep.
Right. So, but what happened, I will tell you, in 87, markets kept going up, and I got out of my comfort zone because I faded the masses. So in 87, I actually was home in bed, not trading the day of the crash. And,
oh, wow.
And the majority of everybody in my trading room, I was in a room probably about the size of my office here in my home in St. Louis, and there's probably 20 people in there. And everybody went broke because everybody was an option seller. I mean, they'd be selling option premium, and go down to the bar in the afternoon and have lunch and a few drinks and make a couple $100,000 for the month. But, they didn't understand their risk in 87 when the markets crashed. So some of those guys lost, 5, 10, 15, 20 million and bankrupt themselves. So I think you just got to, if you're trading options, you got to understand risk. You got to be comfortable with your own physique or with your own mind that won't lock up when you're under stress or you have stop losses in, et cetera. So I think you just got to, I don't think it's anything for the beginner, especially not selling premium. And you're right. I know that you've been given some income ideas, which I'm going to say over time is extremely smart. Anybody newcomer buying options, what's the loss rate's got to be 95% or higher.
Exactly.
That game's too tough. You want to do some strategies like you're talking about. You want to sell some premium, and then I think you could do very well.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's funny because I found that lesson out with a couple of people that I was training in 2017 that had some experience, and as you know, 2017 was a melt up after Trump won the election. I mean, it just skyrocketed, and I had some friends that were selling premium, and I have hard rules, right? If I take a couple of losses, I stop a sideline, and I can do that. But they were managing funds, so they have to produce. So they kept to their strategy, and they kept selling premium through the whole of 2017, shorting the market, trying to roll their call options and call spreads.
Right.
And they went belly up that year, some people. So no, I totally get it. That's where I actually watched a lot of people and refined my risk management to a T with options. So I agree with you. And that's the whole point, is that I see them rolling these options out to people in the crypto industry. And I do think that I agree with you that there's a lot of information that these people need to protect themselves. So yeah, that was my goal. And thanks for hitting on that, Todd. That's my wheelhouse there. So it was kind of fun talking about that.
Well, that's exciting. And, I probably would do more of that myself, but when I'm managing so many different clients, it's just pretty tough for me now to also add options to my fray, because I do a mutual fund strategy, individual stocks, crypto.
You do so much.
I'm pretty well busy.
Todd, when do you sleep? Do you sleep?
I was last year doing about 4 hours a night. And actually, that's when I was performing my best. So
in the zone, huh?
Now I tell you what, I mean, I got to set up. I'm sitting right now in front of 8 monitors. In my bedroom, I just have one. But when I go to bed, I mean, if Bitcoin's at 10.9, I set alarms at every $100.
That's funny.
So any $100 move, alarms going off. If it's Ethereum or something, if I'm looking at a trade, I got alarms. So I will wake up, make sure I have no issues, or go into Discord, whatever. But yeah, that's again, it was easy to handle stress when you were trading stocks because the weekend comes, you're waiting for Friday at 3. You can go fishing, you can relax for a few days. And this crypto market, that's why I've got a lot more gray, thinning hair.
I have the same thing, Todd. In my room, it's as well. My desk here, my room, I've got 2 big TVs, one on top of the other, two 60-inch TVs on top of each other. And the one I run 24/7 at the top, just crypto and alerts all day long. And my girlfriend hates me for it.
Oh yeah.
Middle of the night, it's still running, still setting alerts. So I feel you. I'm on the same page. Todd, this has been great. I want to ask you, let's close off with a question to the audience. If you could give some words of wisdom to some starting traders and fellow traders in the crypto markets, give us some words of wisdom for them going forward.
I think a lot of it is definitely study your mistakes. I think the problem, whether obviously I like Wyckoff, and a lot of people say, well, he owns Wyckoff, that's why he would say that. But understand, I was a student subscriber for 30 years. And I wanted to see the word continue. But whether it's Wyckoff or Elliott Wave or DeMark, I'm a fan of, or GAN or anything new that people are doing, I think you got to get something you're comfortable with. And then when it doesn't work for a few months, you don't run to the next holy grail. I think people are all over the board. I mean, someone will buy my course, and do it for a few months and then, lose interest, go somewhere else. And even like in our Discord, we might be hot for 6 months and then go somewhat cold for a month or 2, and people will run because they hear somebody else is making some money. And I think that's the biggest problem, whether it's crypto, stocks, or anything, is if you've got a good setup like a Wyckoff, Elliott Wave, whatever your thing is, I think if you're having a rough month or 2, you got to figure out why you're having that. Study your mistakes, get better at what you do, because it will come back. And, if you're not trading well, I'll reduce my size. I will go quiet. I mean, in the old days, if I was having problems, I would just quit trading for a while. I remember when I was managing money for my wealthy individual, my girlfriend and I broke up, and I went into the office. He's like, you don't need to be here. He's like, you need to take a vacation. I'll mail your checks wherever you're at, and don't touch my money. He's like, when you're under extra stress, don't be trading. So when I'm not feeling comfortable, I will stop trading. Now Discord will be like, wanting trades, etc., because everybody wants to feed the urge. But So again, I think it's just find what you're comfortable with and don't jump all over the board, because then you'll go to something that's worked for a while. You'll jump on that, and then that'll quit working for a few months. So I think you get something you're comfortable with, learn that, study it, practice it, learn from your mistakes, and keep moving forward with it.
That's great advice, Todd. That's great.
And again, if anybody's having troubles now, I'm having more troubles than normal. So again, I think you just got to learn from that. You don't want to push trades. You just want to get back in the groove. So go back to basics and do what you do.
I do that all the time. When I have a string of losses, I do the same thing. And I think people don't realize that losses are normal in a trading plan. You have to have losses.
Right.
No one's not going to have losses. And I think people need to realize that it's all about keeping your losses small. But
Right.
Todd, this was a great interview. I really want to thank you for coming on today and spending your time with us. A wealth of knowledge and insight here. Thank you so much, Todd.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. And anybody got any questions, hit me up on Twitter at Wyckoff on Crypto, or ask you guys whatever. I'm always available. I'm always in front of my screens.
Great. Well, everyone, thank you for listening. My name is Zero Hedge. You can find me on Twitter at @ZeroHedge_, or come join my Discord community, where we teach options for free and also offer some option tools. Take care, guys.
This episode was brought to you by PrimeXBT, the exchange where you can trade without KYC on legacy markets with your Bitcoin. You can trade commodities like gold, silver, oil, even indexes and forex. Join now and get a 50% bonus on top of your deposit for trading at u.primexbt.com/Panama.